Anybody confirm? So confirmed by Member Robinson, seconded by Member Williams. No, we have AOB last, but Director, I am going to slip out of the meeting during. Oh, they're finished. All right, I may not have to slip out. All right. So the first set of projects, let me leave, I left one thing out. We had some apologies for absence. Homer Davis, Member Homer Davis, Member Crawford, Member Vaz, that's Anne-Marie Vaz. So our first project is, set of projects will be education. This project is for the member from Kingston Western, Honorable Desmond McKenzie. It's for $8 million for education assistance.
Who is that, Minister McKenzie?
Yes, Minister McKenzie.
KCMC?
Yes, implementing agency, the KCMC, project amount $8 million. Dr. Peter Phillips, St. Andrew East Central, $8,240,000 for education assistance. It is being executed through the Social Development Commission. Mr. Mark Golding, St. Andrew South, $5.5 million, being implemented through the SDC. Education assistance for Hugh Graham's, $7 million, being implemented through the SDC. Mr. Heroy Clark, St. James Central, $3 million for education assistance being implemented through the SDC. What is the latest time in the year that you're allowed to apply for your education programs? And I'm asking this because I'm seeing a couple that are below 5 million, and I'm not going to be in a position to be able to collate and determine if they have met the minimum education request. This doesn't say additional. So, Member Clark, since you're seated here, so you're requesting $3 million from SDC. It doesn't say additional. Your regular. So that we probably need to do something special to note that it is the extra.
We'll take all of them at once for approval, so it's a special approval.
All right, so
I just want some clarity on the additional 3 million. The Minister of Education had sent some, like a document with some guidelines as to how to treat with those applicants under the additional 3 million. So I want to know whether it's a regular CDF process that we would do for normal educational grants, or is there another process for the additional 3 million?
Chair,
go ahead, Director.
Member Clark, Member Robinson, until I receive those funds, nothing can supersede the CDF's process. I cannot speak for the Ministry of Education and their process. What I do know is that the CDF will be in receipt of those funds and we will apply our process, your normal process. I gather that if the Ministry of Education was doing it, they would have their own internal processes, which is justifiable, but the CDF has its own process, which each member of Parliament will adhere to. I cannot speak for the Ministry of Education. Thank you.
Right, so I'm seeing some additional projects here, Director, that are below 5 million. I will call those out first, just in case none of these. So please take a relook at these for me. These go back to the Director. All right. I'm still standing there. I know, but I want to know what is, where's the rest? I'm going to put additional on it just to make sure. All right. I saw that one, but and then this one is the same. All right. Beautiful. All right. I've gone back by a month. Somebody could correct it, you know. Delroy Slowly, St. Elizabeth Northeastern, he's requesting an amount for school feeding, $1,999,818 to be executed through the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. Honorable J.C. Hutchinson, St. Elizabeth Northwest, he's also requesting $2 million for school feeding program to be executed through the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. That's $2 million. His regular education fund is being requested in the amount of $5 million to be executed also through the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. Dr. Morris Guy, St. Mary Central, 5 million for education assistance. Marlon Wilson, Westmoreland Western. His request of 6 million for education assistance is being executed through the SDC. James Robertson, St. Thomas Western. His request for 5 million for education assistance is being executed through the SDC. And last but not least, Minister Honorable Darrell Vaz, Port Lawn Western, $7 million for education assistance being executed through the Portland Municipal Corporation. Next, we move on to requests for admin assistant. So the following request for admin assistant, and as you know before, we should all have the implementing agency being the SDC, and they all do. So you can document right away, all will be SDC. All amounts will be 1.5 million. I will now call the requested member and constituency. Lester Mike Henry, Clarendon Central. Yeah, all 1.5, everybody did a quick review. And all through the SDC as should happen. Honorable Norman Dunn, Dr. Norman Dunn, Dr. Morris Guy from St. Mary Central, Norman Dunn is St. Mary Southeast. Homer Davis, St. James South. All admin assistants, continuing. Last is Honorable Dr. Horace Chang from St. James Northwest admin assistant, 1.5. Still, I think I want it to be the 4th month. Juliet Holness, St. Andrew East Rural, $2 million SDC for sports development. Dr. Peter Phillips, $1,050,000 through SDC for sports development. Honorable Delroy Chuck, $2 million through SDC for sports development. $1,050,000 for Honorable Favor Williams, also through SDC. Her sports budget is $2 million. Member Julian Robinson, St. Andrew Southeast, $750,000 being implemented through the SDC. Along the Terrelong, St. Catherine East Central, $1 million. Hugh Graham, St. Catherine Northwest, $1 million. For sports, Denise Daly, St. Catherine Eastern, $2 million through the SDC. Honorable Robert Morgan, Clarendon North Central, $1.5 million. So Leicester Mike Henry, Clarendon Central, 2 million. All sports. All sports. This is sports. It says sports program Leicester Mike Henry, 2 million. This says 2 million, approval 2 million, all the documents 2 million, project is 2 million. You had a 1.5 mentioned earlier, but it was for Robert Morgan for Clarendon Central, North Central. Crystal Lee, St. Anne Northwest, $2 million for sports. Honorable Dr. Norman Dunn, 2 million for his sports program, also through the SDC. Morlon Wilson, Westmoreland Western, $2 million for his sports program through the SDC. Tova Hamilton, Trelawney North, 1.2 million through the SDC. Honorable Edmund Bartlett, St. James Central, through the SDC, 1.5. Delaware Slowly, St. Elizabeth Northeast, 500,000. This is being implemented through the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. Honorable J.C. Hutchinson, St. Elizabeth Northwest, $2 million, also through the Municipal Corporation of St. Elizabeth. Last, James Robertson, St. Thomas Western, 1.5 million. His project is being implemented through the SDC. Social housing. Social housing for all right, so starting with Mr. George Hilton, St. Andrew West, $2 million. His project is being implemented through the SDC. Hugh Graham, St. Catherine Northwest, 1 million, being implemented through the SDC. That's, no, for social housing. I'm not going that fast. Dr. Murray, Dr. Guy, St. Mary Central, his is $1 million. It is still social housing and through the SDC. Morlon Wilson, Westmoreland Western, $2 million through the SDC for his social housing program. And that ends social housing. Yes, it was the first one. Yeah. It was 2 million. I don't remember what it was. It was not first. So these set of programs are now disaster mitigation programs. First of which, welcome member Daly, Dr. Peter Phillips, St. Andrew East Central, 1,575,000. He's implementing his program through the KCMC. Dr. Angela Brownberg, St. Andrew Southwest, 3,003,000 being implemented through the KCMC. So the amount for disaster mitigation is being approved for $3 million for Dr. Angela Brownberg, $3 million flat, St. Andrews Southwest. Mr. Everett Warmington, St. Catherine Southwest, $1 million, being implemented through the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation. Rhoda Crawford, Manchester Central, $500,000 through the Manchester Municipal Corporation. Lisa Hanna from St. Anne Southeast, $1.5 million through the St. Anne Municipal Corporation. Mr. Michael Phillips from Manchester Northwest, 1.5 being implemented through the Manchester Municipal Corporation. These sets of projects are welfare projects. Welfare, Honorable Omar Davis, St. James South, $1 million for his emergency welfare being implemented through the SDC. Honorable Norman Dunn, St. Mary Southeast, $1.5 million being implemented through the SDC. What's going on here, so? Yeah, this now is welfare. So Norman Dunn has welfare support, $2 million, and additional 1.5. And welfare can go up to 3.5. That's $3 million max. So this is for 2 and this is for 1.5. So unless it's a different year. Just look back at it. Just look back at it. No, just look back at it and then we will call. So I'll only have recorded so far for welfare, Honorable Homer Davis, St. James South, and then we'll move to Heroy Clark, St. James Central, 1 million SDC. We'll allow the director to sort that out and just be sure. Honorable Delroy Chuck, $1 million being implemented through the SDC for welfare. George Anthony Hilton, St. Andrew West, $2 million being implemented through the SDC. Hugh Graham from St. Catherine Northwest, $1,250,000 being implemented through the SDC. Right. So for Norman Dunn, Dr. Norman Dunn, St. Mary Southeast, what is being placed before the committee for approval is $1.5 million being implemented through the SDC. We could have approved the 2 million, you know. The challenge is if I approve both of them and you add them together as a problem. So could have, if he wanted 2 million, but he can always send for an additional amount if he has money left. Okay, wow. Yes. No, we wouldn't approve this at all. That's what I was saying. So I would have given him the bigger one. Because no, but 2 million plus 1 million wouldn't have had him over. No. Oh, you mean he may have already spent and don't have 2 million left? All right. I'm hoping that members actually also track their CDF spend, how much you have, how much you are budgeting, how much you're spending. So this is Honorable J.C. Hutchinson, St. Elizabeth Northwest. He is requesting $1 million be approved for him to spend through the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. I'm going to just check Dr. Guy again because I remember seeing his name. I want to make sure it's not for the same set of project. Dr. Morris Guy, $1 million for his St. Mary Central constituency to be spent through the SDC. Morlon Wilson, $2 million being requested for spend through the SDC for his welfare. George Wright is requesting a reallocation in regards to Westmoreland Central Sports Development for 2023-2024, originally approved for $1 million. That was from June 2023. It wasn't used due to a change in sporting plans and the project scope. He's now asking that the amount be withdrawn. It's a reallocation. No, that letter has not been prepared. There you go. Yeah. Because it's really being written to you, not me. No, because what happened, everything is on the file except that final letter that would be written by SEC approving it to come. So by CDF to approve it, and even that letter, even if I didn't get a letter from CDF, if the director had even signed on his letter to say process, but there's nothing, no instruction from the director to say it has been approved for them to get it. Minister Terrelong, it's a pleasure to see you here. George Anthony Hilton missing. George Anthony Hilton. St. Andrew West, $3 million being requested for economic enablement to be executed through the SDC. That's the maximum as well. Dr. Peter Phillips, $1,575,000 being requested for economic enablement through the SDC. Hugh Graham, $1 million for economic enablement being requested through the SDC. Economic enablement for Dr. Morris Guy, $1.5 million. It's being implemented through the SDC. Norman Dunn, $2 million, economic enablement through the SDC. Morlon Wilson, $2 million for Westmoreland Western, being implemented through the SDC. Homer Davis, $1 million for his economic enablement, also being implemented through the SDC. This is the last set of projects, physical infrastructure. So first physical infrastructure project is from Frank Witter. It's for $2 million for the rehabilitation of Old Bottom Parochial Road and he is utilizing St. Elizabeth Municipal Council as the implementing agency. And the BQ is here, all intact. One more, again from Frank Winter, St. Elizabeth Southeast, rehabilitation of Shadrack Hill Road, Phase 2. The budgeted amount, $2,984,000. It is being implemented, again, through the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. All appropriate support documents, including the BQ, are attached. Here ended the projects for approval today. That was too quick. Right, so for members who stepped in, the CDF office is going to be under immense pressure. The salaries have not been resolved for the CDF officers to date. We have made representation to the Minister of Finance. The director's salary has not been adjusted either. So generally at the CDF office, the salaries have not been adjusted. We have been losing the CDF officers. I mean, when I lost the CDF officer I had before, her salary moving out was like 3 times what she was being paid. And no amount of begging and pleading would have her hold on a little longer. I think it is too long and it needs to be resolved. Again, a plea needs to be made to have CDF officers being paid outside of the Constituency Development Fund. Every time I sit here as chair and I sign off on the assistant who get 1.5 million now, who support us in the constituency, the amount again is a challenge, just like the CDF officers, it is a challenge. For the assistant, and it's another challenge because it comes out of the little $20 million for the CDF. For my own constituency, I keep reiterating we cannot afford an assistant. That money has to go to the constituents. It would give me a little more for welfare, give me a little more for economic enablement. So it puts us under pressure because we cannot afford to hire and pay someone out of our Constituency Development Fund. So once again, Clark, I'm asking, coming out of today's meeting, that the CDF officially writes a letter to the minister that we have made several calls. We are now asking the minister to address the salaries at the CDF office, address the salaries paid to the CDF assistant, address the salaries not being taken from the CDF fund, and be appraised of the fact that with the Spark program and the CDF office being asked to ensure it is present at every single consultation, it means that unlike other years when the CDF office has a little bit of latitude because they can do every other year, at least some people do every 2 years, not everybody do every year. With the Spark program, every one of the 63 members will be required to do a consultation this year. And with limited staff, we are literally setting up the CDF office to fail. It is not fair for that to happen to them, and I don't know if they can be the ones to call and beg and plead for themselves, so we have to give them that support as a committee. So I am going to ask every member to support in signing that petition to the Minister of Finance on behalf of the CDF office, because we have been talking about some of these issues for over a year. We need help. Last but not least, members, it would be encouraged that you do your effective CDF consultation with your Spark meeting, because if the CDF office is already stretched and they are going to be compelled to do 63 meetings this year, it means that don't just do a Spark meeting and discuss nothing else. Take the opportunity, any key issues. I know why I'm hinting it, because I checked on another Spark meeting and it was exactly 45 minutes, no extra, and it was only for Spark. So I am saying to you, CDF director, that we should look at it, because I think it is going to compound the problem that the CDF office is going to have. Even if you give us another 15, 20 minutes for the consultation, even if we do some pre-discussions with constituents, we do the discussions about the roads so that when they come, they are more au fait and ready to advocate for the roads that they will need, and we cut that to half an hour and give us half an hour for the constituency consultation. It means that you would be able to say that all 63 had their constituency consultation, all 63 had their SPARK meeting, and I think under the circumstances that you are under, it would help to alleviate some of that pressure. So it may mean, Director, that at the end of the 30 minutes that you have given to SPARK, that that the NWA leave, that the minister and the parochial representatives leave from the various municipal corporations, and then we move into the regular CDF. And you would ask at least one member of the CDF office to stay with us. At that point, we could invite in other agencies, the NWC, anybody we need from RADA, anybody from SDC, and let us just complete and that's my recommendation, because I'm looking into the future and I'm seeing you being under immense, immense, immense pressure. I don't know how the staff is going to do it. We have less than 4 persons now. We're down to 4. We're at 4. We were at 6. We were at 8, then we went to 6.
We are looking at least one more.
And one more going, so we'll be at 5. Nobody wants to stay.
And nobody wants the salary, so they say yes until HR.
Until they hear the salary. Right, and they're not in it. Jeez. Yes, member. Yes, member Daly.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and I'm very happy for your suggestion in terms of having both. I would love to see that happen, because I'm going to say something. It is going to be difficult to get back these agencies and these community leaders for, again, we're almost half of the year now.
Member Daly, believe you me, that is the easiest part. The gathering again is easy. Where my concern is, we don't have the facility at the CDF. So what they would have to look at, and we may need we literally may need to have a detailed talk with CDF and its director to say all the constituencies that had a consultation last year, we would require them to skip this year to just allow us the space to take those who are not normally compliant. Yeah. So it wouldn't put you under pressure to do it this year if you had one last year. And because it's every 2 years that we're required. But remember, before CDF used to facilitate us, if we wanted it every year, they would do it. Right. And now I'm saying to members of parliament, under the circumstances we find ourselves in with the SPARK consultation, if you had a meeting last year, look forward to the CDF then saying none this year. Yeah. Don't request it, don't insist on it, because they're under pressure. So we literally have to be sort of cognizant of the limitation and help. I would say if you have not had any for a couple of years, Member Daly, I don't think nobody should be in that position anymore. If we have any director, please inform privately, and I'll speak to those individuals privately if we have anybody. Because Member Daly, we used to have some people who make up their mind, they're not doing none.
I know.
And last year, coming out of our deliberations here, we literally got, if not everyone, almost everyone to have their first consultation meeting, some of them in a long time. So I believe everybody should now be up to date in having had a consultation meeting. And if we have anybody who is still in a position that they haven't had one, we will highlight and we say, along with Spark, you are going to need to do your meeting this year. But for the rest of us who have been so wonderfully good MPs and compliant, then I'm saying don't request a consultation this year to allow them the leeway to complete the Spark consultation.
Yes, well, my Spark will be on Friday, the 31st.
That's beautiful.
Yes, so I'm putting everything in place for that because I do not want to be at the back end.
I agree.
So
Member Daly, your point is solid, and I would encourage every single member of Parliament, get up there, get up front, because you're going to find yourself standing in Parliament asking why others have their roads being done and yours haven't been touched. And let me explain to you one of the other dangers, because I spend the time and listen keenly to the Prime Minister on these presentations, and every one of the Spark presentation made by the Prime Minister, I do not leave the document here. I take it home and I comb through it, and I comb through it, and I comb through it. And I would have it available when I go to my Spark meeting, because remember, there's a big part of the project that will be guided by NWA, not us as MPs. If you are late, if you are slow, the NWA would have already determined what they believe are key areas to focus, and it may not be what your constituent thinks is key. So let's get up front so that you and your constituents can come together to have a voice in the roads that end up
But just to finish, Chairman, I want to just add to my voice to the Secretariat or the office of the CDF that we get some very good, competent people, and to lose them, it means that it really diminished the office if we are not being careful. And I personally want to say to the Minister of Finance that we should not be calling for this now, because, you know, you should be a part of that process that was done last year, call it last year. And I'm appealing to them now to look into the matter, because it is 63 MPs. We cannot do it on our own. The CDF office is very competent and reliable, and we do not want to lose any more of our competent staff. So I will be lending my voice to make sure that whatever I can do, it will be done.
Thank you, member. Thank you, everyone. If there are no other business, let me ask for a member to move for the adjournment. So moved by Member Williams and seconded by Member Daly. Members, thank you very much. Please place in your diary a similar meeting next week. Is it Tuesday? Yes. Next Tuesday, please, at 12:30. Do we have Wednesday meeting? Hold on, Director. The meeting now stands adjourned. We will follow up with the final date for the next meeting. We have been making an effort to make it more efficient for you, the members, in that we try to meet prior to the commencement of a sitting of the House. I will check to see if we have a sitting next Wednesday. If not, then I'll organize with the Standing Orders Committee. The Standing Orders Committee is expected to meet next week, but not expected to meet the week after. I think on the 18th, they will not meet. All right, so I will coordinate so that you do not come only for CDF meeting, okay? So members, thank you very much. This meeting now stands adjourned, and the director will now speak to us off the record, officially off the record.